Hi, I'm Mary Catherine and welcome to my table. Today we're going to show you how to make simple deviled eggs. This is a staple here in the South where I'm from. You'll find them at every potluck, lots of Sunday dinners, just a basic deviled egg recipe. So easy, you're going to love them. So what I've done, I've just taken my eggs and I just did 6 eggs and put them in some water. Put them on to boil. These have just come to a boil. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn them off and I'm going to move them off. And then you just want to let them sit in that good hot boiling water for about the next 10 to 12 minutes and the eggs will be done perfectly. All right, so our eggs have been sitting for about 12 minutes now. So the eggs are pretty much cooked. So we're going to go ahead and do the next step. And one thing that is supposed to make it easier to peel them is if you take them out of the hot water and just put them directly into kind of an ice bath. So I've got some ice and cold water here in this bowl. And what we're going to do is just put our eggs down in here. Okay, so let's let them sit for just 2 to 3 minutes so that they'll be cold enough that we can put our hands on them and peel them. They won't be too hot for us. All right, so we've got our eggs and I have gone ahead and taken them out of the ice water bath and peeled them. They peeled up really nicely. And let me tell you a couple things that I did. I know I mentioned the ice water bath helps, but one thing I did while I was boiling the eggs, at the very beginning, when I put the water in enough to submerge them, I sprinkle in just a little bit of salt. And something about the salt and something about the ice water bath makes them peel so much easier. And I will also say that you typically do not want to ever use super fresh eggs for boiling and having to peel them. They're not going to peel. That is going to make them want to stick to the egg and it's going to make them very hard to peel if they're really new eggs. So if you've had some eggs for a week or 2 in your fridge, I would use the older eggs to boil and do this with. Those are just a couple of tricks about doing this. And you see that we did. Go ahead, this is real life. Okay, one of the eggs split while it was boiling, so it's gonna be ugly. So don't throw that egg away. Go ahead and, somebody may need a snack and it doesn't have to be on the pretty tray if you don't want it to be. Or maybe, if you have 2 or 3 split, maybe you wanna just chop those up and make some egg salad out of it or add some boiled egg to a dish that you have. Go ahead and use that egg however you want to, but don't throw it away. So what we wanna do, I'll show you on our really good eggs that turned out. We're just going to split them open. See how that's cooked perfectly? Just by letting the water come to a boil and then letting it sit, pulling it off the heat once it boils and letting it sit for about 12 minutes. Okay, so pop those yolks out just like that. Just kind of give it a little extra pop. Sometimes you might have a little section that needs to have a little help. But anyway, there you go. And we're just going to slice up all of these and pop those yolks out together in the bowl. And that's what we're going to make our filling out of course. And we're going to add a few things to it. So now that we've got our eggs ready on the plate, we just want to take our yolks. I'm going to set that kind of aside. And I've got a fork. Fork works just great, especially since you haven't let your yolks overcook by doing it with the 12-minute method that I just shared with you. You just want to take your fork and just kind of smush your egg yolks all together and break them up. So we've got it about like that. So what we want to do, I don't measure any of this really, just kind of eyeball it. So we don't need too big a spoon of mayonnaise, probably about like this. It's maybe 2 to 3 tablespoons, and you can see we'll leave it open, and if we feel like we need to add a little more creaminess to it, then we can add just a smidge more mayonnaise. You don't want as much mustard as mayonnaise. You want maybe about 1/3 as much. So we're just going to squeeze a little bit of mustard in there, like that. Maybe that's 2 to 3 teaspoons, not tablespoons. We do want salt. So I'm just going to sprinkle salt. Remember that's 1, 2, 3. This is 5 eggs, but really it's 6 because we have our one that split open. So that's 6 yolks. So we want to salt enough for 6 eggs. So pretty good little bit. And then I'm going to add some pickle relish. And if you don't have relish and you just want to slice up and dice up some pickles that you have on hand, that's fine. This is a sweet relish. And this is going to be maybe 1 to 2 teaspoons. And I think I'm going to use this jar up. I'm going to have to buy some more. And that's all we add right now. So let's stir it up. I'm just going to keep using my fork. And I just kind of smush, smush, smush. And stir it around. So I think I do want this to be a little bit creamier. So I'm going to get just a little more mayonnaise, not as much as before. Maybe this much right here. And I'm just going to switch this over, and I'm going to use my spoon now to stir. Get this all mixed up really well. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be a little bit creamier. And then I just kind of use the back of my spoon to kind of smush and make sure all my egg pieces are getting broken up and smooth and creamy. Now, I'm going to taste it, okay? I'm going to take the end of my fork. I'm just going to get a little bit. That's good. So at that point, if it's not salty enough, you can go back and sprinkle a little more salt, or if you think it needs more of the pickle relish, but that's good. About what we did there was good. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you a trick. It's going to make it easy to fill your eggs. I'm just going to get something you probably all got on hand, just a simple storage bag, and turn the edge down and open it up, and I'm just going to put my yolk mixture down in this bag. I remember the first time I tried to make deviled eggs, and I tried to just fill them using a spoon or a fork and try to get just the right amount of mixture into the egg white, and it was just a mess. It's so hard to do it that way. So this makes it a lot easier, and it's going to make them fill perfectly every time. So we've got them in our Ziploc bag. We go ahead and close it up. Then I'm just going to get my scissors and snip off just a small corner of the bag. Okay, just a little bit of a corner, about like that. Set that over there. All right. And then you just want to kind of squeeze all your yolk mixture down to that corner. And then see how easy that comes out and fills up your eggs. Okay. And look at that. Just going to have enough. That's the beauty of it. All right, there we go. Now, just on the top, we're going to take our paprika. This is smoked paprika. You can use regular paprika if you have it and prefer. It really doesn't matter. And this is optional, but it just makes it pretty and just gives it a little extra flavor. So just sprinkle, sprinkle, not much. Just makes it pretty. And then you've got your deviled eggs ready. And I love this tray. This was my grandmother's. So every time I use it, I just have happy memories of her. And of course, this has got a section in the middle where you can add other things, like you can add little pickles or homemade relishes or homemade pickled okra, just whatever you want to add in the middle. Just kind of make it your deviled egg and relish tray. And so there's our just basic deviled eggs. They're really simple. And when you use the tricks, you know, to make them easy to peel, and when you use the little trick with the piping bag to put them back into your egg whites, it makes them even simpler to make. And they're delicious. Who doesn't like a deviled egg? So let's give these a try. Here you go. I'm gonna give one to the cameraman, my husband, behind the scenes. Let's let him taste it first. Tell us how it is. Oh, he's giving us a thumbs up. Do you see that? Okay. I'm going to taste it too. He put the whole thing in his mouth. Can you believe that? I'm not doing that for y'all. I'm just going to taste a little bite. Okay. That's a good deviled egg. Yep. Okay. And so that's our deviled eggs. And here you go. You got your plate almost ready to serve. Just add a few things to this and you'll be ready to go. Thank you so much for joining me today at Mary Catherine's Table. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you like the content and you want to see more, I hope you'll hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you join along. Give me some comments. Let me know what you think. If you have any suggestions, I'm always open to suggestions, things to make things better or easier. I'm all about that. So thanks again for joining me at Mary Catherine's Table.